What's going on, all you movie lover badasses out there? Fat Samurai Guys here. Sorry, had to do a little jamming, you know what I'm saying? Do a little jamming, that's right. Getting ready to go into the gym, do a little lifting. That's how we do it. Waiting on the sexy sumo, my workout partner. Hopefully he won't be here too soon because I want to do a little bit of talking movies, y'all. A little bit of talking movies today. And today I want to talk a little bit with you guys about Creed 2. That's right, the sequel to the very entertaining, almost a little too good to be true, a movie that should have sucked, Creed, that came out, I believe, 2 years ago. And really enjoyed that. It was very entertaining. The movie should have sucked. It sounded like a horrible idea. Creed, starring Sylvester Stallone as the iconic Rocky Balboa character. And you have Michael, I can't talk today. Woo! Too much anthrax, too much headbanging. Michael B. Jordan, there we go, playing Adonis Creed, Apollo Creed's son. So, from the classic iconic, oh man, I can't talk this morning. Classic iconic character, that's right, Apollo Creed from the Rocky film franchise. So, Creed 2, does this need to happen? Okay, let's go back a little bit. For those of you that are new to the Rocky film franchise, let me break it down for you a little bit. The first one came out back in the day, won all these awards, got Best Picture, put Sylvester Stallone on the map. Classic, possibly the greatest underdog story of all time. Rocky 2, the sequel, came out. A very solid sequel, not necessarily mind-blowing, but very solid. And Rocky 3, I hate to say it, you could say Mr. T as Clubber Lang is a very over-the-top cartoony villain. I don't care. I love Mr. T as Clubber Lang. I mean, it's just, come on. My prediction? You want to know my prediction of tonight's fight? Pain. I mean, come on, it's brilliant, man. It's brilliant. And for the first time, you actually see Rocky get kind of fucking pissed off. Like, Rocky was just like, man, fuck you, man. I'm about to fuck you up. I mean, that was awesome, you know. Come on, hit me harder. Come on. So anyway, Rocky 3 is my personal favorite. I love the first one. Don't get me wrong. The first one overall is a better film. But Rocky 3 to me is my personal favorite, but I really, really, really enjoy Rocky 4. Rocky 4 is the classic 80s America versus Russia movie. And basically Dolph Lundgren's the shit. He is the man. Basically played the Russian boxer who was juicing up on some steroids, and because, you know, those crazy Russians, they have to cheat. And so, I mean, that movie had a lot of cheese, but it was so entertaining, entertaining score, and Rocky fought the iconic character that Dolph Lundgren played, Ivan Drago, that's right. And just great movie. I mean, I can watch it all the time. Great soundtrack. I mean, speaking of gym music, the Rocky 4 soundtrack, y'all. That's the Hearts on Fire song. Yeah, that's 80s montage gym music. So, but yeah, it's the whole film franchise is about the underdog. And Rocky Balboa's had these dreams of becoming a championship quality boxer. He wanted to win the belt and become one of just to be among the best. He didn't even want to be. He didn't even expect himself to even get a title shot. So it was kind of one of those, well, we need to throw in someone and let's give this nobody a shot. It'll be great for the newspaper. And Carl Weathers, who I love that guy. That guy's great. Carl Weathers, who played Apollo Creed, was like, yeah, sure, I got nobody to fight. Let me go ahead and fight this young buck and we'll make a story out of it. But what they didn't count on is Rocky really putting up a good fight and kind of almost an upset. And see, that's a lot of things. Excuse me, I can't talk today. One of the main things that people forget about Rocky is that he loses. He actually loses. A lot of people forget that, you know, especially usually with like the Karate Kid and all these other classic underdog stories. They usually win, you know. They tough it out. They go through the struggle. They train hard and they tough it out and they win. You know, it's inspirational, right? But Rocky lost. So a lot of people forget that. But the sequel, Rocky 2, adjusted to him, finally getting some money, and a lot of people were pissed off. They thought that first fight was fake. There was no way. There's nobody could even get the champ that tough a time. So then they went ahead and had the rematch together. And then he ended up beating Apollo Creed for real this time. And Rocky 3 is a classic story of a successful boxer that becomes civilized, doesn't have the eye of the tiger anymore, and gets his ass handed to him by a younger, stronger, tougher, meaner fighter. So he had to go back to the drawing board, change his whole complete fighting style, get pissed off again, get that eye of the tiger back again. And then he went and fought Clubber Lang and beat him. Rocky 4 was more of a, I'm doing it for my friend, getting revenge type movie, in a way, kind of. And he was doing it for himself. And he took on the mighty, just superhero, super villain, Ivan Drago. I must break you. And that's what that was all about. Now, this was everyone's least favorite, is Rocky 5. Rocky 5 actually isn't that bad, guys. Rocky 5 isn't as bad. Is there cheese in it? Yes. Did it need CNC Music Factory type music? No. So go for it. Yeah, whatever that song was. It was the 90s, man. It was the 90s. So the problem, the story wasn't bad, because that happens to a lot of boxers, in terms of they lose all their money and they have to go back to the drawing board again and start. I mean, shit, Adrian went back to the damn pet shop. Rocky went back to Mick's gym and was training, kind of like Mick did. And you got to pay the bills, you know what I mean? And it happens to boxers. They lose all of their money. So story-wise, it wasn't that bad. And you bring in a real-life boxer, Tommy Gunn, was in the film, and he just this tough, mean, badass boxer, but he needed training and guidance, and Rocky gave him that in the 5th movie. I know we're getting to Creed 2 in a second. I know. I just want to go over the franchise again a little bit. Sorry. But Rocky takes him underneath his wing, kind of pushes his own son to the side, and gives Tommy Gunn more attention and training. And then Tommy Gunn gets big and wins the championship, and then completely and totally forgets about who got him there, forgets about Rocky. And you got kind of like the Don King type of character comes in and shows him, flashes the money and all that, and he goes with him and kind of corrupts him. And then at the end of the movie, no one accepts him as the champion. Tommy Gunn beats the champion, becomes the champ. And the crowd boos him because they're like, hey, you didn't give Rocky any props. You're underneath this crook Don King-like dude, and we don't accept you as a champ. You're a joke. Go out and beat Rocky Belt. Go out and beat Rocky. Then we'll talk, And so the Don King type of character is like, hey, you better go out there and you better fight Rocky. You better challenge him. You better do something, because we got to do something, because no one's going to want to see you fight. No one's going to pay to see you fight. And so he challenges Rocky on the street. And you got to admit, it was an entertaining street fight. Come on now. Rocky throwing forearms in the back of his head, tackling. I mean, it was an entertaining street fight. You got to give it that. But it was a little bit of a disappointment for fans, because they want to see them fight in the ring. And the movie didn't really give us that. Maybe Stallone at the time, maybe he was trying to go for something a little bit different. But Rocky 5 definitely has a lot of flaws. It's still not as bad as people say it is. But is it the weakest out of all of them? I would have to say yeah. But it's not a horrible, terrible movie. It does have its moments. So many years later, we get Rocky Balboa, which in my opinion is really the true, sequel. It sequels Rocky 5, but it really is kind of like the true. I think Rocky Balboa is what Stallone wanted to make back then, instead of Rocky 5. It kind of feels like it was definitely a better bookend, definitely a better ending to the film franchise, and closing that chapter of that character. And yeah, the main boxer, I forgot his name. He's a real life boxer again. I forget his name, but yeah, he wasn't really a charismatic or entertaining opponent for Rocky to fight. But Stallone's performance was great. Paulie's performance was great. At this point, Stallone's wife, Rocky's Balboa's wife, Adrian, has passed away, so they're dealing with that. Rocky opens up his own restaurant to pay the bills, and that he's just living his life, and he just has it in him just for one more fight. Just one more fight. That's all he needs, and he'll go ahead and put the monster to bed. You know what I mean? He just wants one more. Get that out of his system, and then he can move on. So Rocky Balboa I feel, is very underrated. I expected to hate that movie, like big time hate that movie. But I ended up enjoying it a lot. Even the end fight finale, they filmed it as if it was a real like HBO boxing match in terms of the cinematography and the camera work. It was very good. And I know they filmed two endings, but I do like the fact that Rocky again lost. I think it would have been a little bit too sweet, a little bit too clean if he won. I know a lot of people wanted him to win, but I like the fact that he showed this young buck what's up, that he still could kick his ass. He didn't get enough points to win, but he did enough to gain the respect of all the haters at the time, and he put the monster to bed, and he was good, and he waved to the fans. It was great. It was really a great chapter. Rocky Balboa, in my opinion, is a very underrated film in the Rocky film franchise. Now, many years later, there was talk of Creed, and I was like, this is stupid. This sounds like a horrible idea. Creed came out, proved us all wrong. Great performance by Sylvester Stallone, probably the best in his career. Taking Apollo Creed's son under his wing, training him. And again, he didn't win. Sorry, spoilers for everyone. But Adonis Creed did not win the end fight, but he really proved himself to be a contender, to be number 2 ranked, to be one of the best. And that was huge because everybody doubted this young kid, and really good performance by Michael B. Jordan as well. Creed was very entertaining. Now, we have finally got to Creed 2, and I was thinking to myself, after I watched Creed, do we need a sequel? And I said to myself, no, we don't. And you could easily, yeah, sure, you could make a couple more movies with him. And it could be entertaining and perfectly fine, and you get another new franchise. But I didn't think it was necessary. I think the way it ended was great. But I'm not going to say no to a sequel, believe me. Like, we're going to do another one? Sure, I'm there. I'm purchasing my ticket. I'm first in line. But Sylvester Stallone posted, there's not a lot of info I'm going off of here, guys, okay? It's really, really too early in the game right now. But Stallone posted a picture, Creed 2 or whatever, and you got Michael B. Jordan right here, and in the back is Dolph Lundgren's Ivan Drago, or an older, shot picture of Dolph Lundgren, kind of like taped up fist and stuff, hinting at he might be coming back as Ivan Drago or whatever. And I don't know, the tagline was some cheesy "Revenge never gets old" or "Revenge never dies" or something like that. And I thought it was a joke. I literally thought it was a joke. I posted it, and I was like, LOL, this is the greatest thing ever. I love this. This is hilarious. And I did not know this might be real, guys. So I'm just like, oh no, this is real? This might be real. I don't know about this. I don't know if I like this. Now, the 80s kid in me, half of me, is like all for this. Okay, like really, really, really all for this. Because, why not? Why not? If it's entertaining, sure, fine. But the other half of me, the other side of me is like, this might be a little bit too cheesy if done wrong. Like, cheesy in a bad way. Not even in an entertaining way. And I'm just like, I don't know. Because people that doubted and, like Rocky Balboa, they didn't really like it that much. The film Creed kind of brought back respect to the franchise. So do we need to go from that to 80s cheese? Do we need to go back to 80s cheese? Do we need to go back to Hearts on Fire and screaming, Drago, at the top of the mountain? That's all stuff I love, but I mean, do we need to go backwards? So, like I said, we're just talking here, and I really want to hear what you guys think about Creed 2 and the concept and the idea of it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about it. But the only thing I think can make it work is if he fights Ivan Drago's son. Even that's a little cheesy. Even that's a little pushing it. But if he fights Ivan Drago's son, maybe. Or how about this? You have now that he's done the regular boxing, Adonis Creed wants to go into the Olympics. And we face the Russians, and the coach just happens to be Ivan Drago. And either his son or his top pupil ends up fighting Adonis Creed in the ring. I mean, maybe that can work. I don't know what can work. That's why I wanted to talk about this with you guys. So, like I said, the official plot, I know Stallone's still working on the script. It's not done yet. Nothing's posted. This is just an idea that's been floating around. And I'm just such a huge Rocky fan, I could not talk about it at least a little bit with you guys. So, yeah, I don't know how this is going to work. I really don't. So, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of Creed 2. Should this not happen at all? Just end it with Creed. We ended the film franchise on a respectable bookend here. That's it. We don't have to do this anymore. Or this is an awesome idea and this should be a lot of fun and it's gonna be a lot of nostalgia for the fans. I mean, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below and let me know what you think the plot should be about. Let me know. Because that would be interesting. I would love to hear. I'll be reading your comments of what you think the plot should be. What would be an awesome Creed 2 plot with Ivan Drago in the film? Let me know in the comments below. I'd like to thank all you guys for watching. You guys rock. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.